When Qui-Gon Jinn is struck down on Naboo, Obi-Wan is ready to take Anakin as his Padawan, just as he promised his master. But during the Council's deliberation, Ki-Adi-Mundi points out that Obi-Wan himself is barely a knight, fresh from his trials, grieving his master. He may not see Skywalker's flaws until it is too late, he warns. Mace Windu listens in silence until the debate begins to circle itself. And he speaks.
If Skywalker truly is the chosen one, as you say, then we cannot afford to let him grow wild. His power must be guided by the firmest hand in the Order.
Some masters hesitate. Mace is known for his strict discipline, his absolute adherence to Jedi principles. Training a boy like Anakin under such rigidity could break him. But Mace insists.
If he cannot withstand the discipline of the Order, he will never survive the temptations outside it.
After hours of debate, the Council reaches a compromise. Obi-Wan will complete Anakin's initial introduction to the Temple, but his formal apprenticeship will be under Mace Windu's direct supervision. When Mace delivers the news to Anakin, the boy is confused. "I thought Obi-Wan would train me," he says.
He would, but the Council has decided otherwise. I will teach you and I will watch you. If you are to become a Jedi, you must learn control. From this moment forward, you answer to me.
Anakin agrees, not out of trust, but because he still burns to prove everyone wrong. In that moment, the seed of their complicated, often volatile relationship is planted. The first time Anakin Skywalker steps into the Jedi Temple as Mace Windu's Padawan, the room feels colder. Not because of the marble floors or the high sunlit ceilings, but because of the way Mace is standing there. Still as a statue, hands folded behind his back, eyes sharp enough to cut steel.
Your training begins tomorrow at dawn.
Mace says. No welcome, no smile. Just a command. The next morning, Anakin learns what training means to Mace Windu. The boy is dragged from sleep before the first light hits Coruscant's spires. There's no time for breakfast. They head straight to the combat room, where training remotes already hover in the air.
Control of your body, control of your mind, control of your anger.
Then he attacks. From the first strike, it's clear Mace is not pulling punches. The blows come hard and fast, forcing Anakin to scramble. His body aches before the sun is even up. But when he tries to rest, Mace simply says, "Again." That becomes the word Anakin hears most. Again. Whether he completes a sequence flawlessly or stumbles, the response is the same. There's no "well done," no pat on the back, just the demand to repeat it until it becomes second nature. The days blur together into a cycle of drills and meditation. Morning. Combat forms until his arms burn. Afternoon. Hours of meditation in silence, Mace pacing behind him like a silent predator, sensing every flicker of impatience or stray thought. Evening. More drills, more sparring, more lectures about the Jedi Code. To Anakin, it feels like living inside a cage made of rules. At first he tells himself this is temporary, that eventually Mace will see his potential and ease up. But as weeks turn into months, he starts to realize that Mace doesn't believe in easing up. The man's discipline is absolute. Anakin excels physically. His reflexes sharpen, his strikes grow faster, his lightsaber work more precise than any Padawan his age. Even the older knights start to take notice. But mentally, that's where he struggles. Mace's refusal to give praise gnaws at him. Every victory feels hollow when the man you're trying to impress barely nods in acknowledgement. One night, after an especially brutal day of training, Anakin sneaks down into the lower levels of Coruscant. Down there, he can breathe. He repairs a broken speeder for a group of street kids, laughing with them, feeling for once like more than just a weapon in training. But when he returns, Mace is waiting in his quarters.
You skipped meditation.
I needed air.
Freedom is not found in avoiding discipline. It's found in mastering yourself.
Anakin doesn't reply, but his jaw tightens. In his mind, he hears a different translation. You will never be free as long as you are mine. The tension builds slowly, like pressure in a starship hull. There are moments when Anakin almost respects Mace's way, like during a mission to stop a gang war in the lower city. Mace's calm under fire is unshakable, his control absolute. They disarm the gang leaders without killing anyone, and Anakin sees firsthand how discipline can end a fight without bloodshed. But there are also moments that make him want to scream. On a mission, when they corner a pirate who has been selling weapons to separatists, Anakin goes for the killing blow. Mace blocks it.
We take him alive.
Oh, but he'll escape again.
Then we will catch him again.
Mace replies, as if it's the most obvious thing in the galaxy. To Anakin, it feels like weakness. To Mace, it's the Jedi way. Months turn to years. The boy who once dreamed of adventure now dreams of something else. A life without chains. He imagines battles where no one tells him to hold back. He imagines victories that aren't slowed down by politics and procedure. But most of all, he imagines what it would be like to be seen not as a dangerous responsibility, but as the galaxy's greatest hope. The Council had given him to Mace to keep him in check. What they didn't realize was that the harder Mace tried to chain him, the more Anakin would want to break free. And somewhere, deep inside, that desire starts to feel less like impatience and more like hunger. The day Mace Windu decides Anakin is ready for Vapad, there's no ceremony, no formal announcement, just a quiet summons to one of the temple's private training halls. When Anakin arrives, Mace is already there, his lightsaber ignited, the purple glow washing over his face.
Form 7 is forbidden to all but the most disciplined Jedi. Most who learn it fall.
Anakin's pulse quickens. He's heard whispers about Vapad, the most aggressive, dangerous lightsaber form ever developed. It's said to walk the edge of the dark side without crossing it.
I'm teaching you this because the galaxy will throw enemies at you that mercy will not stop. But hear me, Anakin. Vapad is not your release. It is your chain. Break that chain and it will destroy you.
From the first drill, Anakin feels the difference. Vapad is not like the other forms. It flows like lightning. Fast, unpredictable, lethal. But more than that, it feeds off something deep inside him. His frustration, his ambition, even his anger. Mace pushes him hard, forcing him to channel every flicker of emotion into precise strikes.
Feel the darkness, but do not let it touch you. You are the storm, but you are also the eye.
For the first time in his training, Anakin feels alive. No more forcing himself to bury every emotion. No more pretending his passion is weakness. In Vapad, those feelings make him stronger, faster, more dangerous, and he loves it. Then, the test comes sooner than expected. A separatist offensive on Ryloth has trapped thousands of civilians in the city of Nabat. Anakin and Mace are sent to lead the liberation. But when they arrive, they find the streets already burning. The separatist general, a cold-blooded Togruta defector, has ordered the execution of anyone caught aiding the Republic. Anakin watches as droids open fire on unarmed civilians in the square. His breath slows. His grip on his saber tightens. And in that moment, the teachings of Vapad whisper to him. Strike with everything you are. Mace moves to intercept the droids with standard Form 3 defenses, deflecting blaster bolts, disarming enemies. But Anakin doesn't. He explodes forward in a blur of purple light, Vapad fully unleashed. His blade carves through battle droids like they're paper. He moves faster than the eye can follow, leaping, spinning, cutting, the form drawing raw power from his fury at what he's seeing. In minutes, the entire platoon is destroyed. Even the droids that drop their weapons are cut down. There's no hesitation, no prisoners. Just silence broken by the crackle of burning metal. The civilians stare at him in awe, but also fear. He doesn't notice. He's too busy standing there, chest heaving, feeling the rush in his veins. It's intoxicating. For the first time, there was no restraint, no half measures, just the pure, unstoppable force of his will. And it worked. The slaughter stopped. The battle was won. That night, in the command tent, Mace confronts him.
You executed surrendering soldiers.
They were separatists. They would have regrouped and killed more people.
That is not our way.
I ended the war on Ryloth in one day. How is that wrong?
It is wrong because you let your anger decide who lives and dies. That path doesn't lead to peace. It leads to tyranny.
Peace doesn't come from hesitation. You want to wait, let them regroup. regroup and fight another battle in 3 months. I saved lives today, Master.
You save no one if you become the thing we fight against.
But Anakin isn't listening anymore. All he hears is that Mace is wrong, that the Council's way is weak, that Vapad, unleashed, can win wars in days instead of years, if only someone is willing to use it. When they return to Coruscant, the Council commends the victory, but avoids mentioning Anakin's methods. The silence cuts both ways. To Mace, it's proof the Council will not confront Anakin until it's too late. To Anakin, it's proof they don't have the courage to admit he's right. And deep down, he knows something now. Vapad's chain isn't holding him. It's holding Mace. And one day, Anakin might be the one to break it. The victory on Ryloth changes Anakin. It isn't immediate, not something you'd see in his walk or hear in his voice right away. But it's there, under the surface, like a current running in the opposite direction. He starts looking at every mission differently, questioning every rule Mace insists they follow. To Anakin, the Jedi Code feels less like a guide and more like a chain keeping him from winning the war faster. In battle, he sees moments where one decisive strike could save hundreds of lives. And each time Mace stops him, it feels like another lost opportunity. The rift doesn't go unnoticed. Palpatine makes sure of that. He starts inviting Anakin to his office more often, always with the same gentle, concerned tone. One night, while gazing out at the city's skyline, he plants seeds.
Mace Windu is a fine Jedi, of course, but he is bound to old ways. Rules for the sake of rules. That is why this war drags on.
Anakin says nothing at first, but Palpatine studies his eyes and knows the message is landing. Another time, after hearing of Anakin's victory at Ryloth, Palpatine leans in slightly.
You know, I've seen Jedi Masters my entire career, and I've never seen one who can match your potential. Not even Master Windu. Perhaps that's why he is so hard on you. Some men fear what they cannot control.
Anakin doesn't agree out loud, but he doesn't disagree either. The breaking point comes on Florum. Intelligence reports that a separatist warlord has been orchestrating supply raids across 3 sectors. Entire convoys are disappearing. Thousands of Republic soldiers have been stranded without supplies because of him. Mace and Anakin lead a strike team to capture him. The battle is fast and chaotic, but soon Crane is cornered, his blaster kicked away. He drops to his knees, hands raised in surrender.
Take him alive.
Mace orders. Anakin stares at the warlord. He can see it already. The trial, the political delays, the eventual escape or exchange. The man will be back out in months, raiding again.
I can end it now.
That is not our way.
Our way doesn't work.
And before Mace can stop him, Anakin drives his saber straight through the warlord's chest. The silence afterward is heavy. Mace doesn't even speak to him on the flight back to Coruscant. When they land, he heads straight to the council chambers. Anakin doesn't mean to eavesdrop, but when he approaches the door, he hears his name.
He's becoming dangerous. Ryloth was the first warning. Florum confirms it. He's getting out of control. He's letting his anger dictate his actions.
Yoda's voice follows, slow and thoughtful.
Strong he has become. Dangerous his path will be if unchecked.
I recommend he be removed from combat duties until we can be sure he's not a threat to the Republic or to the Order.
Anakin stands there, tight. It feels like a punch to the gut. Not because of the words, but because it confirms what Palpatine had been hinting at for months. Mace doesn't trust him. Maybe never did. By the time the council meeting ends, Anakin is gone. He doesn't confront Mace right away. He doesn't shout, doesn't demand answers. Instead, he buries the betrayal deep, letting it smolder. In his mind, every order Mace ever gave now has a new meaning. Every withheld compliment, every criticism, every extra hour of training. All of it was because Mace feared him, not because he wanted to help him. Palpatine's words replay in his head later that night.
Some men fear what they cannot control.
Anakin looks out at the endless lights of Coruscant and wonders if maybe the Chancellor is right. Maybe Mace isn't preparing him for greatness. Maybe he's holding him back from it. The seed is planted. And like all seeds, it will grow. But this one, Anakin knows, won't bloom into anything the Jedi would recognize. The crack becomes a break at Salakami. A Republic fleet is trapped by a separatist blockade outnumbered 5-1. Mace calls for patience and defensive maneuvers. His voice is steady, firm, almost fatherly. Over the comms, another voice cuts through, Palpatine, calm and warm. He tells Anakin he is wasting his gift, that the galaxy needs his fire, not Mace's hesitation. Anakin grips his controls, torn. For a moment, he almost follows his master's order. But then the Chancellor whispers one more line. If you hold back now, more will die. Only you can end this. Anakin hurls himself into the enemy line, Vapad blazing. He carves through droids and crews alike, boarding cruisers, cutting down all in his path. Even clones who falter, unwilling to follow his reckless charge, fall before him. The blockade shatters. The Republic fleet survives. Yet victory comes drenched in blood. When they return to the hangar, confrontation is inevitable. Mace does not shout, but his words cut sharper than any blade. He condemns Anakin for executing soldiers under his own command. Anakin fires back, accusing him of cowardice, of hiding behind rules while the galaxy burns. The ears of tension snap. Blades ignite, and master and apprentice collide. The duel rages with ferocity unseen in the temple for generations. Mace fights not just with his saber, but with his voice, pleading, commanding, trying to turn the storm back upon the boy he once guided. But every strike only hardens Anakin's rage. He twists Mace's own lessons, every move of Vapad thrown back against its creator. Mace's aim is not to kill, but to disarm, to subdue. Anakin's hunger has already outgrown those chains. His strikes come faster, heavier, unpredictable. With a final feint, Anakin cuts his master's arm. Mace falls to his knees. For a heartbeat, their eyes meet. Disappointment in one, hesitation in the other. Anakin could stop. He could still choose. He does not. One final strike falls, and the master who guided him lies lifeless on the floor. Silence fills the hangar. Anakin does not feel triumphant. He does not feel rage, only the echo of a choice he cannot take back. In the silence after Mace's fall, a hologram flickers to life. Palpatine appears, calm and knowing. His words are smooth and honeyed. You have freed the Republic from Windu's tyranny. But now, the Jedi will call you a traitor. If you wish to survive, you must strike first. Anakin lowers his gaze, chest heaving. Then another voice cuts through the silence. Softer, familiar. Ani. He looks up. A figure of light stands at the edge of the hangar. Qui-Gon Jinn. His presence is steady, sorrowful, not condemning, but aching with compassion. This is not your path. You still have a choice. Anakin blinks, trembling. Palpatine continues speaking, but the words blur. Qui-Gon reaches out, hand glowing faintly. Do not let grief guide you. Listen. But the moment breaks. Palpatine's shadow folds around him like a cloak, his power cold and endless. Anakin turns from the ghost. That night, the temple burns. Clone troopers march under his command, storming the marble halls. Screams of younglings and the clash of sabers echo until silence replaces them. Twice, his blade wavers. Once before a kneeling child, once before a wounded knight. Each time, Qui-Gon's voice whispers, "Stop." Each time, Anakin silences it. By dawn, the Jedi Order lies broken, but not all are gone. In the council chambers, amid smoke and ruin, Yoda and Obi-Wan confront him. Yoda grieves the fall of the Chosen One. Obi-Wan's strikes are desperate, filled with heartbreak. Anakin meets them with the ferocity of Vapad unbound. The chamber becomes a storm of 3 blades until Palpatine himself enters, his red saber ignited. Yoda faces the Dark Lord. Obi-Wan faces his fallen brother. Sparks and glass rain as the chamber collapses. At last, Anakin corners Obi-Wan. His blade rises for the killing blow. And there, between them, Qui-Gon appears, glowing brighter than before. Obi-Wan does not see him, but Anakin does. Qui-Gon's eyes meet his, steady and filled with sorrow. Anakin, you must choose. The lightsaber trembles in Anakin's hands. Palpatine shouts across the chamber, fury in his voice. "Do it," Qui-Gon whispers once more. "You're not lost." Anakin screams, turning not on Obi-Wan but on Palpatine. Their blades crash, red against blue. The Dark Lord staggers back, shock twisting his face. Yoda seizes the moment, driving the Sith into retreat as the chamber collapses around them. Obi-Wan reaches for Anakin, but Anakin falls to his knees, shaking, the ghosts of his choices heavy on his shoulders. Qui-Gon kneels beside him, unseen by the others. "The road will be hard, Annie, but it is still yours to walk." In the chamber's silence, Anakin lays down his sabers. For the first time since the war began, he feels no rage or triumph, but the faint, aching weight of hope. So, in this alternate timeline, the Council's plan backfired. They gave Anakin to Mace, hoping to control him, but instead, they pushed him closer to the dark. Mace taught him discipline, but not kindness. Strength, but not balance. It almost destroyed him. But when all seemed lost, the voice of the one master who believed in him returned. Qui-Gon's compassion reached where rules and fear could not. The chains that bound Anakin did not shatter into fury this time. They fell away, leaving him free to choose at last.
Like, subscribe, and stay tuned, and may the Force be with you always.